Hi there, and welcome to the Cult of Cinema. I'm Aaron, and tonight we are talking about horror films for a cold winter night. And let's face it, before we know it, that's that's a coming. Much like the train that always passes the Folsom Prison in the Johnny Cash song, winter is coming. As we found out quickly in one of the greatest episodes of wrestling ever, AEW, is Dynamite this week. Hey there, Jason. How's it going? So we're going to be talking tonight, Jason, about horror films for a nice chilly evening. So now I want to designate put out the fact that this isn't going to just be horror films that are Christmas horror films. So we're not just looking at Silent Night, Deadly Nights or stuff like that. Hey there, Shadow. We're looking at like horror films set in winter. Now I got a few here in my collection, and I'm sure you guys have a lot more that you guys will mention here along the way that we can actually talk about. I'm actually going to also talk about at the beginning of the show. Indicator made announcements yesterday, which I did not get to talk about yesterday. I'm going to put the mic a bit closer because worried. Can't hear me. Can you hear me better now? All right. There's the Indicator announcement. Severin dropped a bit of a bomb announcement, sort of a hint, and Vinegar Syndrome sent out some coupons to people. So there's a bunch of things to talk about. Good evening there, Matthew. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. Um, I am not working tomorrow, which is a plus. As you guys know, it's been a pretty stressful week for me, and I want to say out of the gate, thank you so much to everybody that's reached out. You have been fantastic. I am so blessed and lucky to be a part of you guys, a part of this crew here. Hey there, George. Hope you're having a fantastic day. There's Mr. Indicator himself. We're going to be talking to Indicator tonight, George. Um, the cat is right now. Fingers crossed, everything's looking good. He's taking his meds, and there's some other things going on with it as well. And we're just keeping our fingers crossed with everything and staying positive. And that's what you do. And I'll be honest with you, people have been amazing. I've had people reach out to me. Ryan reached out to me. Jamie reached out to me tonight with a really nicely written email that was very touching. So thank you, Mr. Blanks, and I will have you on the show really soon. I do promise that. I'm starting to get the hang of the StreamYard thing, so it's going to be a little bit easier. Hey there, Sumo. Welcome, man. And I have not forgot. Hey there, Warlock. That's the thing. I mean, like, I try to be positive, and I'll be uh, I'll be honest. I sometimes, even me, well, Mr. Positivity, it can get away from me, and I'm gonna say right now, you guys are fantastic, and it's amazing just having guys like reach out and chat and talk and just send messages. That's great. That is incredible. But I don't want to get mushy or anything like that tonight. That's as mushy as I'm gonna get for right now. I'm just very very grateful for all you guys out there, and we've built a great community that I am very, very thankful for. I'm used to and I like being that shoulder. So you guys have my back, and it's not forgotten. So, do you want to talk about the indicator stuff first? You want to talk about the Severn announcement first? Hey there, Deck. Or would you like to talk about the Vinegar Syndrome possibly not getting it to Christmas, or maybe, hopefully by Christmas? Like as always, the ball is in your court. It is. This is my family circus of a show. We got one for each. We need a tiebreaker. Somebody mentioned Severance. Somebody mentioned Vinegar Syndrome. Somebody mentioned Indicator. Uh, I am, but like just merely the vessel which this starts from. You guys are the main attraction here, and that's what I think makes this special. Is that you guys really are. I'm part of it, but you guys start conversations on here that I have to go back. I don't normally like to watch my videos, but I will mute me and I'll go back and read the conversations that are on here because there's always something that I miss out on, though, like a conversation that I find interesting, people talking back and forth. Your vinegar cinnamon package is supposed to get here on Sunday. I'm so jealous, Shadow. Are you a subscriber? I gotta ask that. 20th Century is coming out. That is correct. So Ken has started the ball on the Indicator releases. So Indicator announced some 4 titles, and they are interesting titles. Um, I'm hoping to get my stuff actually sooner because of the fact that, well, basically, my Ronin Flix has not yet. Like, it's in as far as let's check right now. Where is my Ronin Flix? If I could sing, I could like do like a segue thing, and we can make it like checking on your Ronin Flix order today. Uh, type of thing. Uh, it has arrived in Canada and has been presented for review. So it's at the. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna get hit. Considering my things lately, I might. But you know what? If I do, that is a very first world problem to have, right? There can be a lot worse things than getting hit at the border. At least that's my thoughts on things. Right now, that's definitely my thoughts on things. You got your notification from Vincent today too, Jason. I am so jealous. So I did pre-order the Everything bundle, so I'm hoping that after the subs go out like that, I'll be getting it fairly early. Uh, yeah, Canada's Vincent's package may get set differently since it's distributed in Canada. That's the one thing the Warlock that I think may work like as an advantage for us is that we're not waiting for it to go over internationally, and we're not waiting for it to go like in different parts of the U.S. where there is some issues when it comes to some of the shipping. So fingers crossed, Warlock that works out for both of us. All right, so I'll start off the Indicator. Indicator, as announced. Oh, by the way, Vinegar Syndrome. If you haven't checked yet, they send out a $5 coupon for everybody. It's good till March. So if you're looking at getting like the January package, for instance, or getting one of the titles that may not have actually gone out of print, because there's always one or two that you have a couple copies of. Like, be ready for when it comes back up again, because then you'll be able to use your coupon, and that'll be interesting. Thank you, Matthew. I love these stickers. I have to look ahead. Fist bump. All right. Uh, so let's do this. Let's do the Indicator first because I know I got pictures up here for that. Uh, so there are 4 titles coming out from Indicator. Let me lower my screen resolution so I can actually show you guys. So first off is a good one by Howard Hawks with and has, I think, if I remember this from correctly. Hey there, Eddie. You're from Toronto too? Then hopefully we'll get ours like really soon. Is this Boris Karloff? Yeah, I thought Boris Karloff was in it. Criminal Code, right? So I'm pretty sure this is one with that has Karloff in it. I'm not quite sure how big his part is because it's been a while since I've seen this film. Number 2 is the one that was mentioned by Ken earlier, and that is kind of a fun little screwball comedy with John Barrymore and Carol Lombard, and that is 20th Century. Even with my screen resolution like really lowered, it does still come out pretty bright there, so I do apologize. The one that surprised me the most is that Sam Raimi's Crime Wave is getting put out by Indicator. That is a big surprise. Not something I saw Indicator putting out, but it's nice to see that they're diversifying. They're pretty a diverse company as it is, from anything from film noir to Norman J. Warren, so they definitely are a diverse company. But it's really nice to see stuff like that coming out. And of course, last but not least, is a movie that's not just written by David Mamet, it's directed by Mamet as well, with Don Amici and Joe Mantegna, and that is Things Change. And I do not think that I have seen Things Change. And I'm a huge fan of David Mamet, and I'm a huge fan of Joe Mantegna. So that my friends, that is very, very interesting for the new year. Severin made an announcement as well, like a kind of a semi-announcement. They said, and pretty much that there is something coming. There's going to be a big announcement in around mid-December. I'm hoping that maybe it's going to be like the box set. One of the box sets is going to be announced for the new year. Probably in around like, I would say if they announce it like now, it's not going to be something that's going to be coming this year. It's going to be something we're going to be seeing around like probably maybe March or April. That's what I see an announcement coming, but kind of giving us an idea on it. I want to say like positive. I missed the question there. I do apologize. I need to get my thing back up again. Oh, it looks like it was already answered. Yep. David Mamet wrote Glengarry Ross, which is a favorite film of mine, by the way. All right. So I apologize. I got to get your messages up here again because I'm starting to miss your stuff, and I don't want to do that. Uh, they got some Chris Lee films coming, hopefully. Theater of Death, Crypt of the Vampire. Interesting stuff coming out. So many of Raimi's early movies prove that even severe studio interference can't ruin them. Crime Wave's a really fun film. It's one that I haven't seen in years, but I know there was like a release played a few years back here in North America. Not quite sure how great the release was because I never did manage to pick it up. Maybe it's a Shout Factory release. I can't really remember. Not a cult film, but thoughts on the recut of Godfather 3 coming out. I'll be honest with you, Matthew. I don't think they can hurt Godfather 3 with a recut, so I'm okay with it. It wasn't one of my favorites. Did I hear what Warner Brothers is doing with HBO Max? Yes, all of the movies coming out from next year, like in the theater, from Warner Brothers are also coming out on HBO Max as well. So they're really pushing HBO Max, which is fantastic for you guys there in the US. But for us here in Canada that are hampered by Canadian restrictions and the thing that we call Crave, and I'm sure my other Canadian brethren here can actually understand what I'm talking about, we won't be getting those films the way that you will. Hey there, Roy. Welcome, man. Tonight we are going to be looking into, in a few minutes, some of the... And that was Shout. So I did remember that correctly, Craig. Thanks. Crime Wave should be a fun release, especially from them. Yeah, exactly. So you know, Red Raven, I'm actually... And you can probably tell by my accent, that's where I'm from originally. It's from Newfoundland. Was actually born in Corner Brook. So I was born on the, and I lived in the West Coast. So, any Netflix to Criterion predictions? Nothing so far. I mean, like that I can really think. But I'm behind when it comes to Netflix. I would say maybe Manx. It's a Fincher release. Just came out this weekend, so I haven't checked it out yet. But Fincher, good possibility that it could go to Criterion. He's one of those premier directors. I still have I'm always kind of back and forth on Fincher. Hey there, Jamie. Welcome, man. Yeah, I just got on. I read your first. You sent me another message that I have not got to check out yet. I do apologize because I've been live, but I will definitely check it out as soon as the video is over. We're talking tonight. Well, we talked about the indicator releases that are coming out, and Severin's big announcement that I'm not quite sure about what it is. I like the second one. Okay, now I'm intrigued. And we're also going to be talking about some winter horror films, some good horror films to watch on a winter night. Now, I've broken this up into 2 videos. So tonight, what we're doing with this one is we're doing some wintry horror films. Some films that are horror, that were set. They don't have to be set at Christmas. They just have the kind of like a winter, aspect to a winter theme. However, I'm going to do another one. I'm not sure if it's going to be this week or next week. Horror movies for a winter night that are going to be more toasty. So ones that you can watch to forget about shoveling your driveway when that eventually comes up. And oh my God, I just forgot one film. It's over there, which I'm going to grab right now because it's a winter horror film, and I cannot believe that I forgot it. So give me a second. It's just right there. And we'll start with that. Two from Vinegar Syndrome. sure the background is a clue? I actually didn't look at it very well. It just looked like a black background to me. Or you mean like a black Emmanuel? Thanks a lot. My better half got me this one last year because she knows I'm a huge Christmas fan and I'm a huge like Gremlins fan as well. I actually got Gremlins over there somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. I couldn't find it. Obviously, that is a winter horror film. People go back and forth on whether Gremlins is horror and like Christmas. It's set at Christmas. People get murdered like crazy in Gremlins, and yeah, I would consider it a horror film. So yeah, it's obviously a younger horror film, but still, it skews to my age range. So let's start off with one that is very, very Christmassy and very, very cold. Scaredy Dave is doing pretty good so far. I mean, like we're giving his medication. This is his third day. He's taken 3 full days of medication. We've been following up. I've been checking the litter. Not always the greatest thing I do, but for blood and stuff like that because it was a year. It is a UTI, and as 16-year-old cat, you had to be very careful. Um, but it probably was actually Warlock. I cannot remember. Uh, but it's something that you got to watch out for. But he's our kitty, and he sleeps with his mom. I've actually relegated myself to one of the spare bedrooms for the next little while, and I gave him my spot in the bed. So I'm a cat dad. I'm a dad and a cat dad. Um, hey there, Scholar. I sure hope so, Jamie. Every other Fincher movie is good, is amazing, except for Alien 3, because he killed Hicks and he killed Newt. I am so not down with that. Hey there, Adam. So this is Jack Frost. For those that have not seen Jack Frost, that is awesome, Dave. I love people that are animal people. It's something that if an animal likes you, then you're in with me. This is a cool one, actually it's really fun to see. This is an early film for Shannon Elizabeth, actually, who would be like one of my everybody's crush actually. And she and to be and I just saw her recently in a Scream Factory release of 13 Ghosts where they interviewed her, and oh my God, she has gotten better. She looks even better than she did initially. So wow, that is some good genes. Shower scene. The shower scene is something, George. This was the first lenticular cover that was put out by Vinegar Syndrome. I was a huge fan of this film, and back in the day, the original VHS release also had a lenticular cover, and you kind of had to grab it. I mean, like this was one of those. If you're a Vinegar Syndrome like like fan at all at the time, and you're a fan of like horror films and Jack Frost and that, this was one that was on everybody's list. Everybody was grabbing it. Uh, What's the gore score? Actually, the gore's pretty good in this. I mean, I wouldn't say it's overboard, but it actually Adam has some pretty creative kills in there, including one. There's one with a with a carrot. There's one with Christmas lights. It's pretty well done. Another one that I didn't bring over here that I will talk about in a little bit, actually. But Jack Frost starts it out. Now the next one is not something. Hey there, 4K, that a lot of people think of for a Christmas film, but it's a Vinegar Syndrome Christmas film that flies under the radar. Uh, a gore score basically Videodrome is basically when people are asking like what kind of gore. Like I think maybe Chaz Ballin probably did that in but uh but the whole gore score thing. Uh, I like both. I like a mix of both. I don't like things to be like, get too gory. You're right, Shadow. You're 100% right. Bloodbeat. Chaz invented exactly. Uh, all of us that grew up with Fangoria, and of course, why is that like escaping me right now? I have issues of it. Fangoria spinoff magazine. Oh my God, uh, Chaz Ballin did like in the basement. Uh, but this is really fun. This is a if you don't have this one, Jamie, this is a cool one. Gore Zone, thank you. My God, see the gore was in the title, and I think that's what's like knocked me off. So this one is a kind of a possession movie with a ghost samurai. I kind of expected to do it actually, and it's fun and it's cheesy and it's weird and odd and it does have like the like that setting that winter setting. It almost seems, although it's not, it does have a like a Canadian like aspect to it. It just seems like when I see a lot of these like type of films, it really has like a lot of these like maybe I guess it's the winter aspect of it has like Canadian a kind of really Canadian aspect to some of these films. I guess where I grew up in like some pretty harsh winters, so that's definitely one that I look into. All right, from MVD Rewind. What is it, guys? It's from MVD Rewind. What is the winter esque film from MVD Rewind? It's a film that was kind of lost. Exactly, Deck. It's abominable. This is one that you should have in your collection. Aside from having a really great cast, this is the case of a film, of a more modern day film that had lost its way. The elements were lost. There was a huge search to actually even find this film once the director got the rights to it. Uh, hey there, Matthew. Welcome, man. You didn't like it? I say give it another chance, Scholar. It's a really fun film. Well, if MVD are releasing it, that's my way around. Yeah, this is the one directed by Lalo Schifrin's son. What's his name again? Is it Craig or Ryan? Ryan Schifrin. Really fun little film. They have it there with like enhanced visual effects and the original visual effects that came out on it when it initially came out. There's a lot of great features on here, including a short film that I gotta recommend called Basil and Mobius: No Rest for the Wicked, which I wanted to see made into a feature film because it had like it's got like Zachary Levi, Ray Park, Malcolm McDowell, and Kane Hodder. That's the short film on here. Oh, this is a cool one. Think of Hey there, Jason. Think of Rear Window with an abominable snowman. And if you think, oh man, that's gonna be super cheesy, a little bit. But if you also think, oh my god, this is actually gonna be pretty great, yes, it is. And it has a part, not the largest part. Yep, Darth Maul. He's in the short film that's included on there. There's actually two short films included on there. One was really creepy. Uh, this this one has Tiffany Shepis, and for those that don't know, I grew up well with a huge crush on Miss Shepis, and she was one like kick butt like horror scream queen that I don't think gets enough credit. Actually, she has a lot. She's done a lot of stuff, and a lot of it's been like kind of like lower budget stuff. It's been really good stuff. And that's if I ever went into film, if I ever went into writing or I got behind the camera or anything like that, she would be someone that I would definitely look to hire. She's just incredible. I think the Hazings are best. Uh, that is a good one actually. I don't know if I got the Hazing. Actually, I do. I do have the Hazing here. It needs it needs a better release. Now for an obvious one. Winter plays a big part in this movie, and I don't think you can talk about winter horror films without at least bringing this film up. And this is The Shining. This is the Walmart edition of it that I grabbed with the little Funko Jack in there. So I love this. As you can see, I haven't even opened it. I've got like a couple copies of The Shining, but this was at Walmart at the time. I think for like $5, which I think was an incredible price because you got like Funko Jack Nicholson and the regular Blu-ray The Shining in your personal top film. It is like it's one of those movies that I had like a love hate relationship as a kid because I loved the book so much. And as I got older, and I guess I got more as I fell more in love with cinema, I fell more in love with this film. And this is one where I do need the 4K. Like, I don't have the 4K yet, and I do need to get the 4K this one. And I fell in love with the work of Stanley Kubrick in general, but with this film in particular, for me this is like, I know like a lot of people, uh, well, probably push out against this, but this is like an almost perfect horror film. It's got an incredible cinematography. The acting in is amazing. The score is just intense and insane. Hey there, Chris. Welcome, man. The documentary Room Two. Yes, Aaron, it brought up a really good documentary, which is as insanity on a whole different level. If there's one thing that always used to bother me, is that Jack never seems to be going crazy. He just seems like he's teetering off the balance. The one thing I can take from, and I know a lot of people are probably not going to like this, from the TV film that a lot of people didn't like, is that uh, the Jack in the TV film, like, you got to give him credit because he does have that growth. Like, as you know, as slower in the issues with CGI and stuff as the TV film had. Uh, the Jack in that one does grow. And see, I love Doctor Sleep. Actually, I thought Doctor Sleep was really well done. I sat down and watched the director's cut, like the extended edition, with my cousin and my better half, and we really enjoyed it actually. Because like, you're literally making a sequel to one of the greatest like horror films ever made. That takes guts as it is. Um, I do wish that Steven Weber had like kind of a cameo or a little role in there, to just kind of give him, because he did do a decent job playing Jack Torrance in the TV version of the film. Would have been nice to see like just a nod to him at least. I am glad to see that. I won't give anything away, but let's just say that Stephen King finally got his ending with Doctor Sleep, so that's always a good thing. Yeah, Stephen King said actually, that is okay. Here's one that doesn't get talked about a lot when it comes to Christmassy horror films, but it is. It's actually set on pretty much Christmas Eve, on the eve of Christmas vacation, anyway. And that is The Dorm That Dripped Blood. Now, initially, this is one that I sought after because I was a huge fan of Daphne Zuniga, who had a very small part in this film, but she had been like a big part in, well, she was the star of a movie called The Initiation, which is one of my favorite slasher films of all time. Highly underrated. Definitely think that you should check that out if you haven't. The Initiated. This is for, is it really? Oh man, you know your stuff. Okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Like, your the score knowledge, man. Actually, I love Frozen, Tracy. I don't have it here, or I would definitely have been working out on that one there. But yes, this one is from Synapse actually. Uh, Funny little story. I had a copy of this and it didn't work. So I was sent by a viewer a second copy that did work, but I got them mixed up. So I got to keep both copies until I can watch the film again and see which one of the two works. But it is a kind of mean spirited, nihilistic, much like the House on Sorority Row is, much like Black Christmas 1974 is. But that's kind of like the feel of that a lot of these films had at this time. They wanted to do something unique and something different. And Synapse is just, it's such a nice little company. Hey there, Jordan. I They started out like, I remember listening to like an interview with Don May Jr. Um, and I think they started out, if I'm correct, and Jamie can correct me if I'm wrong, because he will know, um, doing like a laser discs. Like, he was like Don May Jr. was in love with the laser disc format, and I think one of their initial things that they put out was uh, was like was Night of the Living Dead actually, because that was one that everybody, it was a the one that everybody could do at the time. So they put out a Laserdisc edition of A Night of the Living Dead. I'm pretty sure that's an early one. I'm not sure if it had the Synapse logo on it at the time, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the first that Don May Jr. Worked on when he was like working on the kind of Laserdisc aspect of it. And of course, that moved into DVD. And their most recent release, which I do need to get, is Massacre at Central High, which is a favorite of mine. The thing about snaps is they are very kind of like slow at getting things out. But the reason for that is Don May Jr. and the guys that he worked with. It's a smaller crew, but they're meticulous. So whenever you get a release from them, like their Suspiria release or the Dorm that Drip Blood or anything like that, you can be pretty much assured it's a high quality release. And very rarely, if ever, are you going to see Snap saying we're gonna have to send you a replacement disc for that, because they really really do high quality releases, and they may be like maybe a bit of time in the coming, but when they do come out, they are worth grabbing. And their release, a Tenebrae, is still one of my favorite things that I have in my collection. It is a great film. It has an amazing soundtrack, and it really, really has like the best transfer that exactly, Jim, has the best transfer that you're going to see for Tenebrae. And I got the Arrow one as well. But the documentary, the Giallo documentary, if you're just getting into Giallos, for instance, if that's something that you found either from my channel or from looking around at all the Giallo stuff that's come out this year, check out the Tenebrae release that was put out by Snaps Films, because there's a documentary called I think Yellow Fever, and it's really really good. Any Christmas Giallos? That's actually a good. There probably is, but I'm not thinking about them right now. If anybody can think of them, in a way, in a roundabout way, Deep Red is kind of like Deep Red is literally starts with a Christmas scene that sets up the whole film, and like the reason behind the killer, Night Train Murders, exactly, yeah, perfect. But yeah, she's going home for Christmas to see her parents on the train, and of course, yep, check that one out. It's a bit of it's a dark one. So let you guys know that one is very nihilistic and very much in lines of like Last House on the Left. So like know that going in with Night Train Murders. I actually do love the film, but it is a film that you got to know. It's definitely a bit dark. And Jason's right. It can creep you out a bit. Ready for the next one? Santa Sleigh is another great one, and that it starred Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus, as a killer Santa Claus, with a great opening with this family of like actually fairly like well-known actors that get pretty much slaughtered at the beginning of the film. I actually really like that. Another one that I don't have over here right now that I enjoy is Krampus with Adam Scott, and it's a fun one. It's definitely not like not like one of those. Oh, actually, that one maybe right here, actually in the list. I'm not sure. Actually, I think I forgot to bring it over. But Misery definitely gets on that list as well. Silent Night is the other one that I forgot to bring over that I wanted to mention. Very rarely do you see a sequel like a remake or whatever reimagining of a film that really stands out and really does a good job. Silent Night is one of those films. Uh, it just works so so well for me. From the kills to the like to to uh to Malcolm McDowell's character, like everybody in that film works for me so well. Dead Snow, Winter Zombies. Also, I don't have them here, but Frit Wilt. What is that called here in English? Cold Prey, right? Um, so Cold Prey, like one and two, especially. Cold Prey one and Cold Prey two, amazing slasher films that I recommend you check out. They are set in winter, in the dead of winter, and they're pretty much like Halloween and Halloween 2. One is set right directly after the other film. The the whole like idea behind the killer in Cold Prey, it's just amazing, and I love that film. And when they get to the second film, and they kind of like let you like kind of let you in a bit on like why he's around, and you're like, damn, how do you stop this guy? It was just so well done. And for me, one of the best final girls is in Cold Prey 2. Definitely, definitely one of the best. But the Killer Santa's. Oh, you mean oh, we're gonna get to that one over here actually. Let's get to it now. Let's see if I got it. If I brought it over here. Oh, did I forget it? So right over there. Are you talking about Deadly Prey? The one with like the like kind of that people said was like Home Alone, but it's not. It's like this incredibly tense like chase film. Um, hey there, welcome, man, and welcome to the cold, bitter evening of winter, as we look into like some pretty creepy horror film. Deadly Games, thank you, Shadow. There you go, correcting me when I need to be corrected. Hey there, Ryan, welcome, man. Um, but Deadly Games is such a good film, and there's just like, and let me know what you think of it, Jamie, when you see it, because there's this really good like Bonnie Tyler song in there, and it's like Christmas. It's like the most dreary, creepy Christmas song, but I think it may now be one of my favorites, and it gets stuck in your head. And the video is there for it as well, so that is cool too, because the video was directed by the director of the film, which is very obvious. And I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how Deadly Games kind of like just passed by me for so. Oh, I remember actually. Since you're since you're here, winter-based horror film, um, Urban Legend. The Bonnie Tyler song at the beginning of this one creeped the heck out of me, dude. And it's still, the Parker is iconic for me. I have this Michael Kors parka that I got. I used to actually I didn't get it from. I used to work for Michael Kors, but that's not where I got it from. But I had this Michael Kors parka that really comes in over my head, kind of like this, so you really can't see my face. And that's what I thought of. that's, that's what I thought about every time that I wear the parka. Is like the urban legend killer. So the opening of this is one of my favorite openings because um, that whole urban legend was the big one for me. The I was always one of those kids that would look in the back seat. That was something that I was told pretty early on. Yeah, it's kind of a fun movie that definitely one to check out. Uh, but if you don't have this one, get this release. This is incredible. When you're getting it, get Valentine too. Not a Christmas one, but still an amazing film that I still think needs a sequel. Uh, Putting that out there. But Urban Legend was one of those that stuck with me, and it's from that opening like chilly scene with, I think it's Natasha Wagner, right, at the beginning of the film. Uh, uh, I'm pretty sure it's Natasha Wagner at the beginning. Yeah, I thought so. Because that's that scene, and with like Brad Dourif, who does an incredible job, and an amazing job as that as a creepy like gas attendant. That it just, and I knew like when I first saw the film, like I knew, because this is an urban legend that is very prevalent in in where I'm from. It's something we always talk about. There's always been talked about. And when from Newfoundland, when I went up to Alberta, we always talked about that, like the skate mental patient in backseat. So it was one of those like creepy ones that is your kid, like that gets told around the campfire. And because I'm that guy that tells those stories, I was usually the guy telling it. Red Christmas, I haven't checked. I haven't seen that yet, but I definitely will check it out. Shredder, I actually do have coming. Um, Actually, Shredder Videodrome was put out by Scorpion Releasing. I think Ronin Flix has it. And during the recent Ronin Flix sale that I actually mentioned on the channel, the Shredder was one of the ones that was on sale there for actually a really good price. That's one of the ones that I did manage to get. So that's hopefully on my way under the Christmas tree, because I did get 3 films from the Ronin Flix releases, and my better half, she got some herself as well. 80 Films is planning to release Urban Legends box set next year. Are you working on that one, Jamie? Are you doing anything new for the 80 Films release, or can you say? Shredder's fun. I mean, it tries to go uh, into into kind of like a comedic territory, um, and of course, it's probably it's most famous for, like, it's the one with the snowboarder killer, and it's the one that's got the guy from Aladdin. So if you've ever seen the Disney movie Aladdin, the Vice of Aladdin, yeah, so that's the guy in Shredder, and it's pretty famous for that. So always worth checking out. Do yourself like a double feature of Urban Legend and Shredder. There you go. Two very different films. Urban Legend is much better than Shredder, but they're two fun films. It's true that I'm not sure who doesn't have this release, but it's got a second disc that has a documentary that goes over everything from like not just like you'll see some documentaries that look just like mention like the making of the film. No, this starts pre-making of the film. Um, he actually talked to some people on here, including one of my favorite actors, Michael Rosenbaum, who was like Lex Luthor in Smallville. So that like I've always been a huge fan of Rosenbaum's. Yeah, I mean like it's really hard to get more extensive than this. So I'm not sure if they're going to be carrying over a lot of that of those. Rosenbaum seems like. I mean, I listen to his podcast all the time. I'm not sure if you check it out. Like he's got the Inside of Me podcast that he does, but it's really good. And he's just one of those guys that has this natural sense of humor. And I've always expected more. Like not that like he doesn't do stuff, but I always thought that he should be a guy that's like one definitely doing comedy. Yeah, he played Lex Luthor in Smallville. And but he's a guy that I can see like that big break is still Lex Luthor, of course, was a big break for him. But I mean, like I still think that they're like Mike Rosenbaum is one of those guys that could be an incredible like comedic star. He's just so good, and his timing is and his charisma is it's just there. It's just natural, and you can't you can't like it's not something that you can like replicate. Like it's not something you can fake. The podcast he has is amazing. That's one that I listen to all the time. And did he ever talk about Alison Mack? Because I don't care. I still have a crush on Alison Mack. I'm going to put that out there. Uh, just saying it. Uh, just listen to that right now. It's but yeah, I've been watching those documentaries. Oh boy. I'm not sure how people feel about that. Yeah, I like he's mentioned it on the podcast, right? Because he's never really. I don't think he like Rosenbaum was obviously was like Alison Mack and of course the girl that played Lana. Like I'm sorry, the name is escaped me right now, and I should know it. Like they were younger, a little bit younger than him. So I know that he mentions before in interviews and that he saw them as more like kid sisters type of thing. So it was more like the people that came on like the Black Canaries and people like that that he would like kind of flirt with. Uh, so uh, so it was different. Like there was a bit of an age gap when it came to that whole aspect. So I'm not quite sure how like how close he would have been with certain cast members, but they would have gotten along and stuff like that. But I really think Mac is a tragic story of a victim actually. So that's that's my thoughts on that. And I guess I don't know enough, but that's how I always took it. If you're a member of a cult, that usually there's something like broken that gets you in there. Now this type of cult, this is a good type of cult. Well, ignore the man behind the curtain. Uh, but yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, um, yeah, the cults. This is a good cult. This is a good type of cult. I promise. There's no branding here, except like company brandings. Let the right one in. Again, another one like set and at Winter. Definitely. Hey there, Trash. Welcome, man. God called. Let the right one in is one that always stood out to me. I do love this. This is the original right here. Of course, there is the remake as well. No, actually, I didn't mind like the remake of the film. I do prefer the original. That's the one that like stands out for me. But again, a great like kind of like cold, chilly, creepy winter evening type of film. Good say. Thanks, man. You hate them both. Oh man, see, I kind of get. I love vampire films. I really do. Another one that I can kind of mention is going to be a bit controversial. It's Polanski's like vampire film that he did as well, because I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, that one was set like at a winter time, with Freddie Main. Ah, recent Fierce Vampire Killers. Thank you. See, I'm blanking tonight, guys. It's one of those nights. Brad Hawkins, who was in VR Troopers, was not straight. Yeah, he was actually. Good connection, by the way. This one I watched recently. This is a not so much a horror as a kind of like a thriller. Definitely a micro budgeted, almost like a regional one. I can't get into Vampires Suck. My better half made me watch it, Ellen, one night. We sat down to watch it. Like, and she's one of those people that if she starts watching something, no matter how bad it is, she she can't like not finish it. And this was one of those cases. And I could definitely not finish Vampires Suck, but no, we had to watch it all. Ice House. Recent one that I that was delivered to me from Mill Creek, and I did request it actually. Uh, See, I like this film, Ryan. Like obviously this is definitely like a lower budgeted film, but I like the two leads in the film, especially like kind of the richer guy. He does a really good job. Um, in that. Have you seen it? So you watched Ice House? Then it's good to find somebody that's actually seen it. Oh well, okay. Because I actually enjoyed this one. I said it's good. Okay, great. November. So yeah, exactly. It's a rough film to watch. But it's a more recent release that came out, and I'm glad that it's definitely worth a watch. Warlock. It's pretty simple. Like really has three main actors in the film. Really two. There's a third actor, like a girl that's in it as well. She has a pivotal, important role in the film, but it's the two lead actors kind of playing off each other that really works. And it's kind of this just a simple film about a guy that invites somebody that he knew in high school to come up to his like his ice house. He's richer, and his friend is kind of poor. Like he's been in the army, he's seen things, he's come in a bit broken, and you don't quite know exactly because you don't seem like really great friends. So you don't exactly know why either one of these guys has gone up, like why he's been invited or why he's accepted the invitation. And on both cases, uh, it's not what you think. Maybe it is what you think, but it's definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth checking out. Um, and it does like get its like prerequisite nudity in there for all you guys that like that as well. I love Layer Fest and stuff. I'm glad that you liked Ice House because it's one that I really enjoyed and I did a review of it, and I was hoping that people would actually like kind of like pick up on it. Oh, Frozen is incredible. We actually mentioned that when they were earlier, Jamie. I don't have it here right now. I got like the DVD of it here somewhere. But Frozen is one of those that I watched with my daughter, and both me and her were like on our the edge of our seat throughout the entirety of that film. And another one that I got over there that I will mention, maybe I got it brought upstairs because I was going to watch it, is called Break, and it's much like Frozen. So if you haven't seen Break, Jamie, uh, it's a uh, it's a German film, and it was put out like really cheap release actually. I think I bought it for $12 at Walmart, and it's at a gondola, one of those big gondolas. So much like Frozen in the fact that the person that's controlling the gondola, but in this case he doesn't leave them. He gets killed, he dies, and the gondola gets stuck. So there's this big gondola stuck like way above. Like you think Frozen's up far. This is up really far. There's no way jumping down. There's no jumping down for wolves to get at you with this one. If you jump in like in break, you're a you're a goner. Um, it's set up. It's really well done, I thought. And one of the actors turns to kind of like becomes the villain, and like he totally like does what I thought was a fantastic job in becoming this really despicable character that is just all about saving his own skin. at whatever cost necessary. And it is just so well done. So if you have not seen Break, I do recommend you check it out. If you do see it, Jamie, let me know what you think. It's one that I really enjoyed. I got it last year during the Christmas holidays, and it's one I'm going to be honest with you that I'm probably going to watch again this year as well. It's a fun little title that I really enjoyed. Now this one was actually sent to me from a viewer, and this is a lower budget one. It's fun, it's cheesy, but it is like a regional horror film, and you guys know how much I love Adam Green stuff. Like I loved Hatchet and Hatchet 2. Hatchet 3 didn't do, so I don't blame him on that one. But I really did like Victor Crowley. Thought that was really good. That was a nice comeback for him. And just the story behind Victor Crowley kind of really tugged at my heartstrings, to be honest with you. Holliston. Actually, I haven't got to watch much Holliston yet. I've seen like maybe an episode. I know it's on Shutter, but I haven't really got a chance to check it out. Dismembering Christmas. So this is a definitely like a micro budgeted regional horror film, and it is exactly what you think it's going to be. It's got a bit of the gore, a bit of the nudity. It's set around Christmas time. I won't say it's going to like blow any minds or break any records, but I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it for what it is. I mean, I think that the other films that they did, like Rational Fear, kind of like up the ante a bit, as did like Don't Go to the Reunion. But I actually had fun with this film. I actually really, kind of really like this one. Dismembering Christmas definitely is one to check out. Next up is one that I'll be honest with you, when I picked it up was a total blind buy. You guys are mentioning some stuff that's going to be mentioned here, by the way. Horror Cinema, you just mentioned one, and that is Better Watch Out. So Better Watch Out, again, it is a really fun film, and the lead actors in this one are really good. If you've ever seen the movie The Visit, that was done by M Night Shyamalan, I hope I got Shyamalan. M Night Shyamalan. The lead actress and the actor in this one, the actors in this one, actually were brother and sister in The Visit. They did actually. This was shot in Australia. A really cool film, extremely well done, fun. There's a great twist in it that if you don't know what's coming, then you're definitely gonna enjoy it. Now this one is not done by this is done by oh god, what's his name again? Christopher Peckover, and trust me, this is definitely a very Australian film, which you don't really tell by the film because they're speaking like with the North American accents they use, but when you're listening to the features, then you tell. But it's a really cool release, and Dismembering Christmas is definitely more of an indie type film. Where's that one of your favorite releases? One of the neat things they had was a Christmas card, a Better Watch Out Christmas card, which I actually didn't. Little things like that, little touches like that, just I just find so cool. And of course the Christmas sweater. If you have not seen this movie though, do not Google it. Go in blind because that is truly the best way to watch this film. Would Red Deer not be considered a Christmas film? I guess they're gone up to the cabin. But definitely want to check out. Ready to get some more cheesy stuff, some more insane stuff. Satan's Blade. Oh, I love Samara Weaving. Oh, Jamie, Samara Weaving. Satan's Blade is one that oh yeah. Oh, Satan's Blade. It's a fun title. It's not like I'm not gonna lie to you, Jamie. I'm not saying it's a great title. It's a fun title. What I love most about this film is there's this sequence like, oh yes, curtains did, and actually that's we're gonna get into that one too, Jacob. Uh, so good call. Arrow also put this one out. So this was put out by two companies. Oh, this is Slasher Studios. They're an independent company. They actually started out with a podcast. They did some short films. They put out three films so far: Dismembering Christmas, Irrational Fear, and Don't Go to the Reunion. Those are the ones. I think those are three. There may be a fourth one, but I can't remember. The Horror Express is one that I am ashamed to say is not yet in my collection that I don't have. Like I probably got like a Mill Creek early Mill Creek copy release of it or a BCI release, but I don't have like a good copy of. And Arrow put out a great edition, so there's no excuse for me not to have it. Well, funds, but eventually one of these days I'll pick it up. But Satan's Blade, definitely 100%. Check this title out. It is a really cool little film. Is it perfect? No. Doesn't Is it cohesive? Not always. Is there a part in the film where almost every character gets killed off and it's all a dream? Hell yes. Does it make any sense? Not even remotely. But that's the fun about films like this. You know going in that you're not getting Shakespeare, uh, or even like off off Broadway Shakespeare or Shakespeare in the Park. But you're getting something different, and that's always enjoyable to me. But I'm weird, so you never know. Though one that I can recommend that I will tell you is a great like a winter release, and that I think everybody should own, and I'm pretty sure Jamie has this one, as many of you guys. Curtains. Curtains is uh, the crossbreed baby of a giallo and a slasher film, with Canucksploitation mixed in. This is very much a Canucksploitation film. Uh, how much of a Canucksploitation film is it? Well, the if you're a fan of the movie Black Christmas, the original 1974 Black Christmas film, remember at the beginning of the film, the girl that gets killed and gets put up in the attic, and her father comes looking for her afterwards, and you're thinking like, man, um, I wonder like what she'd be like with if she actually got to do something in a film. Well, welcome to Curtains because she is one of the stars of this film. So if you want to see her actually doing stuff without plastic over her face, then you have to check out Curtains. It is one that I adore. Again, it is another great Snaps title. I talked about this on my Patreon channel when I spoke my 5 films in 5 minutes like Snaps releases. I listed it as one of my favorites. Seeing Curtains like this was like a revelation. It was like seeing it over again. They just did such a good job. I looked for that Mill Creek release for so long and I couldn't find it. But when I got the Synapse release, I was like, this is beautiful. This is what I want to see. I picked the wrong title. Okay. I picked the wrong one. Give me a second. See, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 isn't one any top winter Hammer films. Abominable Snowman. Look for the Abominable Snowman with Peter Cushing. It's actually a really good film. That's one I would definitely recommend. Is there snow in the Gorgon? I don't think so, actually. But Abominable Snowman, definitely. So it was recently put up by Scream Factory. So you can get like a good edition of it there as well. It was originally put up by Anchor Bay. And I do have the Anchor Bay release. Actually, my dad gave that one to me. Not the Anchor Bay release, got the UK release. My dad actually gave me that one. But Abominable Snowman definitely is one to check out. So, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Why not Silent Night, Deadly Night 2? Um, well, well, they do kill him on ice actually in Direct to Prince of Darkness. So there you go. If you want to go with that, he does basically get killed due to running water, which is something new to the vampire genre. Why not? See, part two is sort of can go on the list. Like, but this one here, Silent Night, Deadly Night is set primarily at winter. Now, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, however, isn't. However, you get all the good parts from Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 in part 2 and the cool stuff as well. So basically, yeah, you can go with either one of them. But there's also more like Silent Night, Deadly Night was a series. Is it here? Is it gonna make a lot of me? I have them here. Yes, I do. I definitely want these to get like some serious releases down the road. But this is Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, 4, and 5. There's 5 in total. And of course, there's a remake. So that's really there's 6. But Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 with Bill Moseley as a character, because I forgot the name, is played by Eric Freeman. Is does a good job. I mean, he's like psychic in this one. He's got like a glass bowl over his brain. Then you get to Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, which is more like it's a Brian Yuzna film. It's really good, but it's good on a very different. Oh, AME. Brian Yuzna did part 4. And the Tie Maker. Must lest we forget the Tie Maker, because the Tie Maker. Oh man! So in the Tie Maker, for those that have not seen this film, it has Mickey Rooney, who spoke out about hating Silent Night, Deadly Night when it came out. By the way, I thought it was an abomination. Is starring. I won't give away too much, Jamie, but Mickey Rooney's character, he's a tie maker. He owns a tie store, and his name is Pedo. And I'm not joking. Would you go into a tie? Would you go into a tie store with a kid if that tie store was called Pedo's Tie Store? Uh, and he's got a yeah, Pedo, and he's got a son named Pino, I think. I'm sure you'll figure it out long before the film is over. It is insane, Jamie. How have you sat on this one for years? It is an insane film that I definitely recommend you check out. Also, part 4 has very little to do with Silent Night, Deadly Night. It does have Clint Howard in it, and I do like Clint Howard. And it's done by Brian Yuzna. And if you like gore, then lots of gore in a Brian Yuzna film. But Silent Night, Deadly Night, the whole 5 films are great for for a nice winter evening. You can sit down maybe over a weekend and watch do them all, because here's the thing, they're very different. And you think that okay, there are 5 films that are going to be. Hey there, SJ. Thanks for the comment, by the way, in the Patreon video. Oh, I'd say give it a chance. Give it it is different. It is weird, but give it a chance. It has the girl Alice Beasley from I think that's her name, from Moonlighting and a lot of other shows. She was like the secretary in Moonlighting. I looked so hard for this. Like the nice thing, the Lionsgate put, there's no features on it, but it is like each at least I'll get their own disc, which definitely down with that. Unfortunately, these are all full screen presentations. But that being said, all these were direct to VHS films, so I don't think they're widescreen films anyway. So I think full screen presentation is probably the right presentation for the films. I haven't looked into it, but I'm gonna guess. I do have the remake, and I'm actually a very big fan of it. So there's another one to put on your list if you haven't checked it out. Wood chipper scene, love the wood chipper scene. I like wood chipper scenes in films. Maybe that's why I can watch Stepfather 3 when a lot of people can't. Oh, bugs. Oh man, there is I don't like bugs either, but there is a kind of a bugs type sequence in Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. So I'm gonna give you a warning about that one right out of the gate. Oh, Christmas Evil, famous for definitely one of the most Christmassy horror films of all time. We talked about films that are set in winters, films that have to do with Christmas. This one is about as Christmassy as it gets. Just watch this film right to the end, and yeah, Christmas is there. Also probably famous because the famous singer Fiona Apple, that's her dad, her playing the killer in this film. So if you like Fiona Apple's music and you've never seen Christmas Evil, and you're kind of wondering what her dad does, well, her dad does a really good job in this film playing the killer. Now, initially, the cover for this one did not get a good release, not a great cover, so was really great. Called Chopping Spree. I would love to see that if you still have that. See, that's something you put on a release. Make sure you paid for it though. Definitely, definitely a cool release. Is Fiona Apple in this film? Because if she is, I did not know that. So that's something that is new to me. Is there really? I've went through that too, so I have seen it. I watched that one and I think I watched that one and Valentine around the same time because I waited. I'm gonna have to look back through now. I like hunts. Don't tell me exactly where it is. Okay, he did tell. Okay, because I was gonna say I like hunting for stuff like that. Um, no, that's okay. At least I know now. So who's the fan of this? It is directed by the late David Hess, uh, who was one of those like actors, musicians, did so much, and directors. To All a Good Night is a fun little film, uh, and it's definitely an insane one. It stars Jennifer Runyon, and if you're watching this film and you're wondering where you saw her from, more than likely you saw her in the movie Ghostbusters. She's the girl at the beginning of Ghostbusters that the Venkman's character is flirting with. Oh, Warlock, definitely check this one out. Directed by David Hess, the guy from like Last House on the Left, and yep, she wasn't Charles in Charge. She was the first girl. Yeah, I think she's all throughout it actually. First girl, I think she was the first girl. Because they changed Charles in Charge when halfway through, like when they did like a syndicated version of it. Started as as ABC and then went to syndication. They're still on, but definitely check this out. So yeah, she was in Charles in Charge. She was in a movie with Tim Matheson called Up the Creek. When I was a kid, she was this beautiful blonde actress that had always said like, well, I'm gonna watch this film. Jennifer Runyon is gonna be nude in this one, and she never is actually. She actually married. If I hope I'm gonna get this right. I'm pretty sure she married like one of Roger Corman's kids, like sons. I'm gonna look that up. Rare Exports. I don't have that one. Actually, I really need to get that one. But if she's the girl I'm thinking of, she married one of the Cormans. Yeah, she married Todd Corman, one of Roger Corman's like sons. So she kind of retired after that. I think they did like wine, or they did like not wine. Did was it wine or like a coffee or tea? They did like something in some kind of beverage type thing. That he's actually pretty famous for. So to all good night though, really cool film. Definitely one to check out. And it's fun. It's weird. It's fun, and it's just something that I turn on every once in a while that I really enjoy. So the next one here is a remake. Carlos Simonetti's Goblin Put Out Christmas. Oh, that would be awesome. I would buy that. Is Dead of Winter. So Dead of Winter is a remake of a movie called My Name Is Julia Ross, and it definitely goes in a different direction than My Name Is Julia Ross, but it has kind of like a lot of the same like kind of early beats of the film. Um, but it's really well done. Mary Steenburgen, Roddy McDowell's in this one here, doing an amazing job, and it's just a very tense, really well done film. I really enjoyed this one. This was put out by 88 Films. There was an edition put out by Scream Factory as well. But oh no, this is the see 88 Films Videodrome got a series of films called called like the Slasher Classic Collection, and most of those were the early ones, especially were done in red with red cases. Did they do home? Now that needs a release. So if you've never seen like Home Sweet Home, uh, that's one of the, see people thought that was going to get a release from Vinegar Syndrome recently. when they announced it, and I was like, is that do I want Home Sweet Home to get a release? I'm like, I do, but I'm not sure if I want it to be this release. But I would buy that in a second. It is a Thanksgiving Day horror film. Body by Jake. I remember Body. I'm old enough to remember Body by Jake. It needs a good release, and it desperately needs a good release. And by the way, this is a really good film. I won't give away much of the film if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen like the original that was based on, because they do go in different directions. So don't think you're going to see the original and it's going to be the same thing. It's not. But definitely check this out. Dead of Winter is a really really well done film. Seen. I do have to see that actually. One that I don't have over here, but I got it here just out of reach is Silent Night, Bloody Night. Yeah, you have access to Body by Jake. That's amazing. Uh, but Silent Night, Bloody Night is one that desperately needs a remaster. There was like a kind of like a sequel probably years later, which I do have over there, and it came with the original. But man, that really needs a good remaster. I would love to see like Vinegar Syndrome put out Silent Night, Bloody Night because it just seems like their type of thing. I've forgotten that actually. You can't forget it. One of the great winter horror films of all time, and the original, of course, the thing from Another World is as well. And I do have that over there somewhere with the good old green James Arness from Gunsmoke as the creature. But the thing, yeah, like Ryan says, it is one of the great films for me of all time. I definitely will actually. I'll mention the HBO Max thing again. Actually, um, what can I say about this film that hasn't been already said? And look at this edition. So hopefully, if you guys had the chance, I hope you guys went out and picked up this edition because, like, Scream Factory did an edition, but Arrow's edition of the thing is second to none. Um, it is a film that Jamie said. You watch it, you study it, because everything about this film is perfect. Much like The Shining, from the music to the special effects to the cinematography to the casting, right down like to the ending of the film. It's just it's a picture perfect film, and it is one that I am honored to have in my collection. A rare perfect movie. There's a few films that I consider perfect films. That is one of them. This one might be, but time time for a deep cut. You ready for a deep cut, guys? Back to the Future, of course. Ghost Keeper. All right, so who here has Ghost Keeper? Because I know some of you guys got it. You got to have this one. Some of you guys got to have this. This again is the Canucksploitation title. This is in need again of although this was put out by Code Red. Um, then you got the blue. Is the blue better? Like, I'll be honest with you, Jamie. Like, this is an okay release, but it's pretty dark. Like, especially in some sequences. So I'm hoping that the Blu-ray put out by Code Red's a better edition than this initial DVD is, because it's dark, especially like near the end of it. Uh, Early '80s, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 1980. So this one came out in 1980. This is again is a Canucksploitation film. I don't really want to give a lot of it away. It's just a really kind of insane film and a lot of fun. Ghost Story is another one that we got over there. I never even thought about Ghost Story, so thank you so much. That's actually a great choice. As is, of course, The Changeling. The opening of The Changeling, one of my favorite Ghost Story films of all time, by the way, has this definitely this winter opening scene that you're never going to forget. Like with George C. Scott, with him and his family, and he's like making a phone call. It's horrific and incredibly well done, and just such a fun, like let's say fun, but definitely a fun film. We're still here. Yeah, there you go. But Ghost Keeper, definitely check it out. And it does have like uh, kind of a Wendigo. So there's a bit of a Wendigo thing with this one here as well. Starman is one of those movies. You know, I actually own the TV series Starman with Robert Hayes as well. My cousin got it for me a couple years back, and I was so excited because actually, as I love the Starman movie, but I actually love the TV show too. Ravenous, okay, I don't have Ravenous, but a great release. See, the good thing about this is I can bring in a few, but you guys can can deep cut and think about a bunch more that either are out of reach. I didn't think to bring in here, or just some great releases. Starman Snow in the ending it does, and actually, if you've ever watched the TV show Starman, it actually starts in the snow. Karen Allen and Jeff Bridges just have an amazing chemistry. Captain Jack back in Doctor Who. I know. I'm super excited about it. Inside creeped me the hell out. Uh, Inside is a film about, for those that haven't seen it, it's a film about a woman that is in a car accident, and a year later she is home by herself. Her husband died in the accident, and she's close. She's very close. She's pregnant. She's very close to having a child. When there's a knock on her door from a mysterious woman who seems unusual, to say the least, and it gets intense. It gets really intense. I have not bothered to watch the remake to Inside, to be honest with you. So I really can't tell. But yeah, Inside has an amazing final shot, which kind of like made me, which kind of like when I got to see Leatherface, which was made by the guys that did Inside, I was extremely surprised because I kind of expected more out of them than what Leatherface. Well, I do not have Inside on Blu-ray. I wish I did actually. I love Firestarter. I actually do. I really like Firestarter. Hanukkah. Actually, I don't know. I've not seen Hanukkah. So there's a that's new to me, Matthew. I was asked about the HBO Max thing. What do I think about Warner Bros. And HBO Max? It it's a bit of a shame that the movies are still coming to theater, but they're going to be coming to HBO Max as well next year. And I understand with the way things are going right now, that that's something that at least for next year that they're going to have to do. It'll be interesting to see how it goes like in the future. Obviously, it's not good for us here in Canada because we don't have HBO Max. It's not something we can get. And even with a VPN, I don't think you can get it. Which is a shame. If I have any Canadian brethren there though that know a way around that with HBO Max, let me know. Message me, because I am very interested, especially with Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out. But hopefully, it's something that is kind of a short term solution for like an insane time in the world. But firing from Far Star, like here's the thing too, like we got to remember like that I do have a VPN, but like the thing is that Ryan, as far like the certain things that VPNs don't have workarounds for, Hulu for one, and the other one is HBO Max so far. Yeah, the thing unfortunately was a massive a failure when it was done. I loved it right from the beginning. I saw it in theater, like a lot of people my age, um, and like we really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, true. If he didn't get fired from Firestarter, who knows what would happen with Christine? And I really did like Christine. Yeah, that's the thing. You get released against ET, and they're both films like about aliens, but they're both very different films about aliens. But and was at a time too when kind of like the cultural zeitgeist was definitely leaning more toward more against the thing than it was against ET. Like ET was a Steven Spielberg film. It was a time at a time period when ET was would be more successful than any other time that ET would ever have been. The Thing is a film that if it would have been put out now or like even like a couple years later, it would I think would have been a massive success. And it is such a shame. But the thing is, like we know now that what a great film uh, that it uh, that it is. So I think in the long run, John Carpenter did pretty good. And Christine is one of my favorites. Actually, Christine, the movie and the book. And Christine is one of those cases when I think that they did an amazing job of of having the book and the movie match as close as he could without like getting too much into one kind of tripping over the other one's feet, which I did really enjoy. So there you go. With 80 minutes and a voice that's going right now, actually, we talked tonight about some cold winter horror films. We actually have the director of one of the best on the list here. And when you're looking at a cold winter slasher film, Urban Legend. And if you don't have it, you got to get it. And I got to check that email too. I'm actually very curious. I'm very intrigued. I am Aaron. You are the. I'm honest because the Urban Legend was one of those films that made me want to actually get back into writing films and doing film. Unfortunately, at the time, it was didn't have the ability to do it. But it definitely was a film that made me dream because I'd seen a lot of slashers go like just go super meta and go in a different direction, and then there was movies came out like Urban Legend and Valentine that made me realize that there were people out there that were in the industry that got the slasher genre, like right from the beginning, that actually got it. And that meant a lot to me at a time when the slashers were being derided, were being were being put down. So thank you so much for that. You don't know how much that means to like when this slasher fan here. I am Aaron. Thank you guys so much for joining me here in my movie library tonight. You are the call to cinema. To my call to cinema guys, to my Crimson Cult, to my Super Chat supporters, to all you guys out there, to Jamie, to Jason, to Warlock, to all you guys. Sumo, have a fantastic night. It's a nice chilly evening. Watch it, get a nice cup of hot chocolate, and watch a nice cold, crisp horror film. I'll talk to you guys soon.